And there's my screen. Lovely. Right, guys, let's start this morning just jumping into our bodies a little bit. So let me just turn the heater off. Jump up and down for 10 seconds. The heater helps me because it's freezing in here, but I'm sure it don't help you. Makes it hard to listen. Okay, let's start this morning with we're going to start with our rampage of appreciation. I'm not quite sure what this is yet. I keep changing the definition of it. So what we're going to do is we are going to grab as many balls as you want to. Morning, Alice. Grab as many balls as you want to, many socks, and I just want you to throw them around. Whether you're juggling or whether you're not juggling, just throw them around. I want you to just move your body. Okay, and I want you to think about it as stepping stones. So if you are juggling, maybe try and turn in a circle with it. If you're just using one ball, throw it behind you, catch it. And let's just do that just for a minute, just to kind of be in our space to understand we can throw the ball in any direction. One ball, two ball, three balls, and just take notice of what is in your room, what is in your space. So if whatever you're doing with your ball, just look past that ball into the room that you're in. You bigger. Morning, Alice. Morning, Kat. Okay, and let's bring that, whether you're working with one ball or two balls, into our little worry window this morning. So one ball, we throw in a 4, we throw in a 1, we throw in a 4. We can do this with 2, 4, 1, 1, 4, 1, 1. Okay, and really the idea is to just recognize that little window this morning. If we've got any worries or any anxieties or any stresses or anything that's kind of weighing heavy on us, we can just look through that window and see them objectively. Okay, so we can do this with one ball. We can do it with 2, or Rianne over there is doing it with 3. I seen a second ago. So what we're doing, guys, is we're building up here. I'm going to show you. I've been getting better at this. Our 4-1-1, 4-4-1. So this little worry window that we're creating here with 3 balls is starting just at this space here, and just getting used to that window, that box, that space that we're looking through. Let's put one ball, if we've got 2 balls, in a space in our body. If we've just got one ball, just throw it back and forth. And let's just close our eyes for a second. It can be anywhere you want, or you can just drop it and you can just use one ball. Let's catch some gratitude this morning. So let's close our eyes and let's take a deep breath in. And for this one, let's just take a breath in and just notice the ball. So take that breath in. And breathe out again. This second time, let's widen the hands just a little bit. Let's stretch that bit further. Okay, let's keep that ball going in the air just that little bit longer. Let's take that breath in. And as we breathe out this time, let's just bring a smile to our face and our tummy muscles. Okay, same thing again. We're going to take the arms about here. Now, it's going to be a little bit trickier to throw as you do this. Whoop. Okay, not quite outstretched all the way, but definitely more than you'd usually do in a juggling one. Okay, let's take that breath in. And as we breathe in, I want you to think about what you're grateful for right now. Let's hold that breath for a second. And then again, as we breathe out, bring that smile to your face and to your tummy. Think about catching your thoughts. Think about whatever runs through your head, whether it's what I'm telling you to do or something else. Think about catching it. And just like a ball, you can catch it and you can throw it. Right, this time we're going to open our arms out really wide. You're not allowed to bend your arms. You're not allowed to use your elbows, but you can use your wrists. Okay, so here you can use that wrist. I want to try and throw it across, catch it, let it run right across your body into that hand. Notice how different the aim gets. Notice how much harder it is. When we really outstretch, we've got a lot going on in our head, It's much harder to be mindful, to catch those thoughts, to catch those balls, to be productive. Oh, totally cheated myself then. And just bring it back to a space where you feel comfortable, what feels natural. Take a breath in. We're going to do that one more time with gratitude. Find that gratitude on that breath in. Catch those thoughts. And then tummy smile as we breathe out. Okay, I want you to grab a second ball, but I want you to do it on your way to the visualization we're going to do this morning. So don't stop throwing it. I want you to try and grab a second ball and do one with two balls. So here, okay, just like this. Okay, so we've got two balls now. What we're going to do is we're going to do that visualization that we did yesterday, but I'm going to add a little bit more onto it today. So we're going to imagine ourselves in a new world this morning, okay? So we're going to start off with, let's start off with 3-3. 3-3. So if you're finding this difficult, you can just do this with one ball. You can do a 3 and then you can do a 3, okay? Make sure, though, if you are doing this, I can see you, Kat, there, you're passing the ball. What we want to make sure we're doing is throwing both balls like this so we don't pass. So both balls are a 3. This might be really tricky to get your head out of, especially after doing this probably for some time, or it's quite a natural way of going. So this here, this 3-3 is our river. Kat, for now, just do it with one ball. So just do 3 with just the one ball. So this is our river. Okay, if we're working with 2, we've got this here. This is our river, our flowing body of water. Okay, let's jump to our bridge. Okay, so this, Kat, is what you're working with here. So this is your bridge. Okay, one ball and then you pass it. Okay, it's that triangle motion. So I want you to visualize this as our bridge this morning. The bridge over that water. So let's visit our water. And let's take a look at that bridge over it. Let's imagine ourselves walking across that bridge halfway, just looking out to those flowing bits of water. Every time you think about the water, go to a 3-3 or a 3. Every time you think about that bridge, let's go to a 3-1. So now let's look at the undercurrent. So we're going to go with this whirling motion here, this 1-1. Okay, let's see how fast you can get with that. And let's just recognize this as that current that's underneath that water that is moving energy, that is making that water travel. And maybe let's recognize or reflect on that and draw a parallel in our life. Everything going on underneath the surface, if you like. Okay, so it's rained a lot in our world today. I know we've got a high tide, so we're going to go 5-5. So it's the same as 3-3, but we're throwing the balls higher, 5-5. So this is when that water fills up. Maybe the current's a little bit stronger, a bit higher, the tide's higher. So, Kat, what we can do is, again, we can work with this, and I think, Alice, as well, you can do this with one ball as well. So this is our 1 here. So this is our undercurrent. This is our 3. This is our waves. Our 5 is a bit higher than that. It's our high tide. That's moving a little bit quicker. And then our bridge is this, a 3, then a 1, a 3, then a 1. Okay. So let's just for now flick between all those thoughts. But the important thing is not the juggling. The important thing is that we're visualizing this world. So if you need to juggle for a second, throw a ball up and think about the bridge, do that. Think about the undercurrent. Or if you can do it at the same time, great. So just take 30 seconds, taking a breath, and just every time you switch up those juggling site swaps, think about where you're at in this world. Okay, let's add a couple of dams in there. So we've got a dam upstream here, 4, and we've got a dam downstream. Okay, maybe let's alternate between the two of them. Yesterday, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, oh, that dam is kind of stopping us doing from what we're doing. But then in a second head, I was like, oh, well, it's protecting things from the water flowing. So we could look at the dam in 2 ways. And I started to draw a parallel between a positive dam or something that's protecting us and a negative dam that's standing in our way. So we can relate this to our positive and negative habits or our positive and negative attitudes, which we'll dig into a little bit. But let's just see ourselves in that world. So we've got these dams, this undercurrent, these waves, this high tide. And silently standing there is this bridge. Okay, so what we're going to introduce today is a 7 and a 1. So a 7 is one ball that's really much higher than a... So we've got the 3 here, the 5's a bit higher than that, and then the 7's even higher than that. Okay, we're just crossing it over. So 7-1 is going to become our sail today on our boat. Okay, if you can't quite get a 7 because you've not got enough height, just do it a little bit lower. A 7 and a 1 is our sail. And depending on which way the wind blows, we can't change that, but we can change the direction of the sail. Is that maybe we're not on a river, maybe we're on a big body of water. So 7 and a 1. So let's just imagine that boat, bring this boat into that picture. And as we do that, I want you to imagine the last time that you was at a body of water that resembled what we're talking about right now, and physically put yourself there and just run through all of those things. We've got 1s, where we're crossing over. We've got 3s, those waves. We've got a higher tide. We've got our dams. And we've got our boat and sail. And underneath all of that, on the middle of that bridge, is a silent ball in one hand. So I want you to grab a third ball now. You already got it, Pete. That's you, right? So in this world, it's you and your feelings and your attitude and everything. We're going to dig into that ball in a minute, but let's do this thing again. But let's hold that third ball silently and imagine that's you observing this world. So let's run through that again. So we've got our waves, our undercurrents, our bridge, our boat and our sail. And maybe you're on your boat and maybe you're not on the bridge, maybe you're in the boat. And just as we do this, recognize that you are there in that hand. Okay, let's just take all of that visualization. Let's grab as many balls as you use. Let's push it onto our heart. And let's just take a couple of deep breaths there. And as you breathe in, I want you to bring yourself from that scene into your space right now. And I want you to look around, keep your eyes open, look around as you breathe in and notice something in the room that you have not noticed in a while. And I want you to stare at that as you breathe out. And I want you to think about where it came from, who put it there. Let's do the same thing. Let's look at something else. Let's take a deep breath in. As we find that thing that we've not acknowledged in a while. And then as we breathe out, remember who put it there. Where did it come from? What's the story behind it? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put the one ball down. And we're going to come to a 6-6. Okay, so a 6. For those that don't know, this is a 4 here, quite a low throw, about shoulder height, and a 6 is about, well, let's say double the height of that. You probably can't see it on this camera. So we're going to do a 6 with one hand and a 6 with the other. And I'm going to read you a quote that I found this morning that I quite liked, that drew a parallel between something that we'd spoke about before. Remember, this week's theme is about intention, attention, and attitude, and that cycle, that mechanism of things, of words. Attitudes are habits of thought. So I thought that was appropriate time to just check in with our habit. Attitudes are lost myself. Attitudes are habits of thoughts. So if you've not been here, we've got a stake in the ground. Keep working with your 6-6s. We've got a stake in the ground on Thursday, the 18th of March. That's 66 days from when we first started this. And we're just checking in with our habits a couple of times a week. So if there's a habit that you want to bring into your life or a bad habit that you want to take out of your life, maybe think about that today. And that Thursday, the 18th of March for us is going to be a bit of a celebration day. So maybe see one of these balls as a positive ball, a positive habit, and maybe see one of these balls as a negative ball, a negative habit, or a bad habit that you want to take away. We spoke about how maybe bringing one habit in could take one habit away, and they could help manage each other. And what I want you to imagine is this negative ball is hitting your boat in the same space continuously. Bam, bam. So let's just look at that negative ball for a second. It's hitting that boat. And eventually what's going to happen, it's going to fall through. Okay, so let's come back to that positive ball. And this negative ball's hitting away at that boat. And what we don't want to do is let it fall through, really. Let it break through. Well, I suppose I'm relating this to kind of those constant sometimes when we get those constant negative thoughts. They're just hammering away at this boat. And when they fall through, the water makes the boat heavy. Just like it makes our mind heavy. And then there's consequences because of that. So what I'm doing is I just want you to recognize that, but also recognize there's that positive ball in that hand. So we apply this to habits. And again, it all really boils down to the attitude that we're talking about and our choices of every day. So we've got our 6-6s. And what I want you to do is I want you to now look at that let's call this your attitude. Let's call this your habit ball. Okay, so your right ball is your habit ball. Okay, let's bring it down to a 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap your attitude around your habit. Okay, so to do that, we're going to do a 3 over, and then we're going to do a 4 around it. 3 over, 4 around it. I'm going to change my balls to make it a bit more obvious. So I've got a pink ball here. This pink ball is my habit ball. This habit ball is continuing to stay in that hand. It's not moving. Okay. You can also see this as a positive ball if you want. The other ball, your attitude ball, or your negative ball if you want to see it this way, is going to come into your life by a 3, and that 4 is going to stay there. So that 4 is continuing. That 3, bam. That 3 is the only one that crosses over. So you're going to throw a 3 to that hand, and you're going to throw 4 around it. If you can do this with 3 balls, which I think most of you can here, I've been working on it. This is my better one. Okay, so we've got that same thing. So that yellow ball is the only one that's crossing over. Bam. This is getting a bit smoother for me now. Yes. Okay, but the point is, past the juggling, is really the fact that the attitude, whatever it is, whether it's positive or negative, and that might change all the time depending on our circumstance, wraps around those habits, wraps around that positivity, and they're always flowing in this river, right? They're always moving depending on where we are and how we feel. Okay, so today we are going to grab as many, let's do what we did yesterday, grab as many things as you can that you don't mind throwing and catching. They don't have to be balls. They could be anything. They could be pens. Grab as many things in your hands that you can physically carry. Okay. One condition is that, well, you are going to throw these up and drop them on the floor, so make sure it's nothing that's breakable. Okay. Or there's nothing breakable around you. So what's going to happen is we're going to hold on to this, and instead of throwing them today, we're going to spin. Okay, we're going to imagine that we are a bit of current under that river. Okay, and we're just going to spin, and we're going to just let those balls just kind of drop out. But we're going to recognize these balls as negativity. Okay, we're going to recognize them as things that are weighing heavy on us. Okay, we're going to spin and we're just going to simply let them go. And then we're just going to take a breath in. So 3, 2, 1, spin, let them go. Just take a look at them. Put your hand on your heart, take a breath in. And give yourself a hug and a back. Or if you're with someone, I'm looking at you, Kat and Alice. You can give each other one. Okay, guys, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for coming, joining in. Hope it's gives you a little bit of opening this morning. But have a lovely time in your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Joe.
No worries. See you later. Cheers for joining in live, guys. If you want to come over to the Zoom room, we're in it tomorrow. Just head on over to the website, which is there. And then you've got all the details. So I shall see you tomorrow.